Hi, the following is a peer review regarding reading constructively and giving constructive criticism by Peggy McGill at Queen's University. We will first start with how to read critically, and we'll discuss the strength of the argument and clarity of writing, which are most important. Here are some tips. Do not look at grammar or the ideas themselves. Unless grammar problems make it difficult to understand, grammar correction should be saved for proofreading. Also, it is the job of the student and the supervisor to make sure that the ideas are solid. Your job is to make sure that the ideas are communicated clearly. Here are the characteristics of a well-crafted argument. It should be explicit, where the author is aware of and clearly states the assumptions, inferences, and reasoning that connect the different parts. Significant, the research question and conclusions are not trivial but have a clear impact on the field. Concise, only information that is pertinent and necessary to the argument is provided. Consistent, there are no contradictory statements or elements within the argument. Questions to guide peer reading. The following is a series of questions to guide you. First are the argument and conclusions. What is the main argument and point of this section? Is the argument supported? How? How is the equality of the supporting points? What is the conclusion? Note, there may be more than one. Does the conclusion answer the research question? What are the reasons supporting the conclusion? Considering the reasons presented, how acceptable is the conclusion? Supporting information. What do you think of the examples, evidence, or data presented? Can you see how they relate to the argument? Is the author presenting factors or opinions? How are they used? Are there tables or figures? How are they used? Are there any more information that needs to be provided before the conclusion can be accepted? Communication of author's purpose. What do you think the author is doing in this section? Can you recognize the main argument? How? Can you recognize the conclusion? How? Are you able to follow the reasoning? Why? How is the structure? Does it flow well? Are the connections between the ideas clearly made? Are there any ambiguous words or phrases, and how might they be clarified? How to provide constructive criticism. What is your understanding? How did you understand the material? Use phrases such as, from what I understand, in this section you are. It seems to me that the focus of this section is. I am not sure that I understand the main point here. It seems to me that. What is the purpose of this discussion of? Why is this figure, example, or description important? What do you mean by, I understand this to say? Constructive, not just criticism. Indicate elements that seem unnecessary or whose purpose is unclear. Show which passages do not flow well and why not. Point out gaps between ideas. Indicate any arguments that appear to be weak or unsupported. Summary. The goal of the feedback session is to show the presenter where to make his or her thesis stronger and to provide suggestions to help the presenter communicate his or her ideas more clearly. Remember, the advisors and resources of the AWHC are always available. Feel free to ask questions, make appointments, or make use of our books, documents, and study areas.